such a home within Oberlin.
OSCA is the best part of my Oberlin experience.
My experience in OSCA has been overwhelmingly positive.
And it's just a really important part of my college experience and one of the most Oberlin parts of Oberlin.
I love OSCA. I would be so sad if it was gone or smaller. It's really personally important to me that people who keep going to the school are able to have the beautiful experiences that I had in it.
Hi, my name's Bo Watwood. I'm a second year at Oberlin College, and I'm here to tell you about the current state of affairs regarding OSCA. OSCA operations have been suspended from fall 2020 and are possibly going to be suspended through summer 2021. We believe that OSCA should resume operations starting with full housing for spring 2021 and full dining starting summer 2021. The One Oberlin Report claims that OSCA has a $1.9 million annual negative impact on the college's budget. They also claim that OSCAns receive what is essentially extra financial aid subsidized by students living in Res Ed and eating through CDS. They also claim that OSCA has no positive or negative impact on the college's retention rates.
Across the country, there are dozens, scores really, of very good small liberal arts colleges. And all of them are grappling with the question of what's their long-term future. Oberlin College's motto is learning and labor. It understood and knew that the college experience had to be relevant to one's life after college in a way that most colleges never got and are now only struggling to sort of figure out. And for Oberlin not to be leveraging this incredible asset of the Oberlin Student Cooperative Association and the co-op housing and dining experience seems to me to be leaving a huge asset on the table.
There are many reasons why OSCA is an asset to the college. OSCA makes Oberlin unique. Compared to the other top 15 colleges that Oberlin students co-apply to, OSCA is the only one that has a significant cooperative program.
Co-ops definitely helped Oberlin stand out.
OSCA was definitely a big selling point of Oberlin.
And what really drew me to Oberlin, one of the big things that drew me to Oberlin was the fact that they had cooperatives.
It was probably the reason that I chose Oberlin over a couple other liberal arts schools.
Oberlin would just be Vassar or something without OSCA.
I think that a lot of small liberal arts schools have a lot in common, and you're gonna have a relatively similar experience at a place like Vassar or Smith or one of those schools, but none of those schools have a co-op system like Oberlin.
OSCA does affect retention rates.
I did think about leaving a lot, and whenever I chose to stay, OSCA was one of the first reasons.
It totally factored into my decision to stay.
Why I am taking a gap year is because they are not having co-ops next semester or this semester, and I just didn't want to be part of Oberlin if there was no OSCA.
It definitely has factored in, it is the reason that I want to stay at Oberlin, and to see it if there was no OSCA, then I couldn't see myself returning.
Honestly, if OSCA didn't come back, I would very seriously consider transferring.
Third, and possibly most importantly, OSCA makes Oberlin accessible.
OSCA definitely meets a lot of dietary needs and dietary restrictions that are hard to meet when you're a college student.
In my opinion, as someone who has dietary restrictions, that every single time that I would go into Stevenson and eat anything, whether it be a cucumber or actual food, it would upset my stomach. If I were at Oberlin and they did not have OSCA, I truly do not know what I would do.
Food is a relationship that's been kind of up and down in my own personal life, and I think OSCA, I mean, no dining or eating situation will be perfect for every person, but I think OSCA was a really safe, comfortable place for me.
I'm realizing, especially now that OSCA is not open, how much I depended on it to pay for Oberlin. I don't know how I could have paid for all 4 years without OSCA.
Financially, Oberlin was really tight for my family, and in the beginning, and I like, just given the funds that I had, it didn't seem like I'd be able to like go all 4 years. So I, like, a huge help to my parents was to like move off the dining plan and have me pay for OSCA, and that way like I was able to pay for my dining expenses, and you know, that alleviated like literally thousands of dollars for my parents and made Oberlin seem like it was going to be more financially accessible for the next 4 years.
OSCA also teaches students relevant and marketable life skills.
So I was an anthropology major here, and I picked up a lot of skills in communication and qualitative research methods, and I was like looking for jobs doing that as this pandemic was going on, and it's like, I love anthropology, but like applying for marketing jobs just felt so insincere when people were literally dying. And I was like, well, if I'm not gonna be able to find a job with my anthropology degree, hopefully I'll be able to find one with my kitchen skills that I learned it from OSCA.
Yeah, when I came to college I had no cooking skills, and now I cook like as a job, which is pretty cool, and like that was like part of the reason why I was able to get that job, because I could say that I had like that kitchen experience.
So I would say that what makes me the strongest candidate for all of my job applications that I've submitted in the past year is my OSCA experience. To be able to say that I have worked at a nonprofit that's multi-million-dollar, entirely student-run and led and student-operated is like really invaluable experience. I was managing with my co-food coordinator a budget of $520,000 a year. And that's like unheard of experience for 23 and 24-year-olds.
Well, I was an accessibility coordinator in Harkness, and I've talked about being an accessibility coordinator in many job interviews. Like, it was really transferable skills that I learned.
By the time I graduated from college, I'd done a real estate deal. I had helped start 2 businesses. I waged and actually lost an organizing campaign. I had learned accounting and bookkeeping, I'd learned how to run meetings. I'd learned how to build teams and serve as a leader for a large organization. In short, I learned all the things that usually you don't actually get to learn until well into your first decade of career life.
OSCANs are the model OB. When we think of Oberlin students, we think of OSCANs.
That way that you build trust with people by cooking with them and eating with them. Like, that's fundamentally necessary to the social justice culture that exists here, and that Oberlin loves to market itself on.
A lot of like activism and organizing efforts came from OSCANs.
If we didn't have OSCA, we wouldn't have the systems, the social systems in place to be able to take that idea and work towards it as a project.
OSCA just taught me how to be a true cooperative member of my society that does good and helps about. And I don't know if I would have learned that without OSCA.
OSCA is what makes Oberlin, well, Oberlin. Any change to OSCA's operations that would increase room and board rates or decrease membership would actually harm the college as a whole. There is no Oberlin without OSCA. Please commit with us to the longevity of OSCA's operations by signing the petition to reopen OSCA by spring 2021 and to push for a favorable vote.
I love my co-op, my